Hello Pisces, this is your forecast for August, and we have a lot of planets going retrograde right now. So a lot of you have been feeling that your life has been slowing down, and don't let that frustrate you. We have to learn how to embrace our retrogrades. They're there for a reason. It allows us to have time to process through. And when I go like this, I'm actually kind of thinking chakras, right? Because when life is at full steam ahead, we may go through this, and that, and whatnot, and we don't always have time to process and so forth, cross the T's, dots the I's, and so forth. So situations can become stuffed, especially those things that might have been a little bit more difficult. But when we have retrogrades, it's time to reflect. It's time to, put them in their correct place, to process it and let go and so forth. And therefore, our chakras can cleanse, and we do want a good alignment on our chakras so that we can move forward and be crystal clear and so forth, especially for you guys being Pisces that are so visual and clairvoyant and psychic. You can't have these chakras blocked, right? So, and I think you more than the rest of the zodiac can really go through retrogrades in a good way and actually welcome it, because you're like always open with 100 antennas out there in the world anyway. This slows things down a little bit so you can more embrace this inner calm that I know that you deal with so well. Actually, for you, I can see it being a very creative time. So Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, retrograde. Uranus is going to join that group on August 20th. These outer planets, they go retrograde maybe for 4 to 5 months, right? So don't expect any big action. What we can do something about and what we need to focus on is where the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, the personal planets, right now are. And that's what we're going to be talking about here today. So I could see how you have spent a lot of time here in July structuring, reorganizing, getting your ducks in a row, clearing up, becoming a little bit more, should I say, organized so you can work a little bit easier, faster, with removing whatever has been laying out and about that you've been procrastinating, small little projects around the house maybe, right? And that allows you now to say, whew, that's out of my hair, right? You're going to have a little bit more of that in August, when the Sun and Mercury will come in and follow the footprints where Venus and Mars cleaned up in July, right? So you're kind of more like overlooking what you have done, because Mars really put a lot of oomph, a lot of power. I mean, really getting into what you needed to have done. And Venus is just enjoying the beauty of what you did. So right now your focus is more on the other, meaning Venus and Mars now cruising through your 7th house of relationships, how you interact one-on-one with people around you, whether that is a spouse, a partner, it could be the way you work with your clients one-on-one. So it's what you will receive from them as well. You'll get that Venus and Mars coming to you, but it's also what you're giving out, right? So there's that love and compassion and understanding and taking action, which is Mars. So I can see that this is going to be a fun month, a good month, especially for those of you in a relationship. You'll be relating more romantically and dynamically. And even for those of you who are single, might just feel that this is great just to have new connections, perhaps also show up. Venus is money too, so there could be partnerships, talking about contractual agreements and so forth. You can see how that might spice things up, which is great. We have also the new moon. I want to talk about that because that new moon is showing up for you in your 6th house. So you might start a whole new cycle right now, looking at what you're eating. The 6th house is about health, what we eat, when we eat, right? How you could be looking at how you want to start getting onto either a diet or a workout program. This is giving you that extra oomph that you might need to kind of break out of that old cycle and navigate towards something new. And I feel you're going to feel very energetic about it, since this new moon is in Leo, taking a lot of pride in what it is you're doing now in your daily routine. Speaking of the moons, this full moon is going to align itself to the same degree with Jupiter on August 22nd, so circle that on your calendar. The 8th for the new moon, time to place your intentions. That full moon on the 22nd in your 12th house. So that's dream state. It's what's going on here subconsciously and so forth. Jupiter and Saturn have been setting you up all year from January, working on something that you have been, should I say, nurturing, moving forward, something that ties in to your subconsciousness, to your spiritual, should I say, mission. Okay, so you've dedicated a lot of time to it, to the point, Pisces. I know you're normally a very busy person, you know, reaching out to so many realms as you do. What I feel this year of 21 thus far has been pulling back from the outer external world. Pulling back from all that busyness that you put into your work, now contemplating it, kind of like setting it up in a whole new way, because you're completing, for one, a 12-year cycle of Jupiter that you started 12 years ago. You're also looking at a very long-term cycle of Saturn, a 28, 29-year cycle, and kind of looking back to the past and thinking, wow, I've been running and running and running now nearly for 3 decades with this and that as a goal, as a mission, but you're feeling that that goal, that mission may not hold the same energy signature for you anymore like it used to. So some of you might have felt a little lost. It's like lost in space. Where am I heading? If this is no longer going to be my goal in the future, then what am I going to be doing? So I could see how you've been contemplating, and you still will, for a couple of months before it comes clear to you where those new goals are going to go. And let me tell you, when Saturn moves across the ascendants into your first house, that's when you're going to start up a new 29-year cycle. That's next year in 2022. Jupiter will get there faster, though. You've already had a little dip and feel, getting your feet in the water with Jupiter in the new 12-year cycle here this summer. Now it's retrograding and moving back into the 12th. So you might have already achieved a certain insight of what your new life mission will be. That's really going to start up here at the very, very end of 21, but all of 2022 is really going to be exciting, Pisces. So now that it's retrograding back in there, just contemplate, be okay with what is going on, because that is something that you will come to love. So pretty much that full moon there with Jupiter on the 22nd, that can bring gifts, things from the past, insights, unexpected things, which I feel that you will love. What do you got? You got a piece of bone? There's your bone. So yeah, that is pretty much what we have now, because there isn't, like I said, a whole lot of activity quite yet. It's working here subconsciously, higher consciously. That is where your main goal for now is and should be for August. And then meanwhile, enjoy what you're doing. Bless it, you know? I'll see you next month in September. So in the meanwhile, have a good one. I know.